Wild stories today on the Lawn Chair Sports Show. All right. We're going to start with Campbell Soup. What's going on in paradise is Vice President of Campbell Soup, and he's the Chief Information Security Officer, Martin Bally, has come out and said some horrible things about Campbell Soup. He said that he's sick and tired of Campbell's making soup for poor people and that he would never eat that unhealthy garbage of 3D printed meat that they put in the soups. This is an all-time quote from a CFO or someone of this guy's level. Andy, are we here to debate whether this guy should get fired today in 1 hour, or do we kind of like his honesty?
I kind of like his honesty. I mean, I think this guy, he kind of sounds like the everyman because, I mean, first of all, to be a good VP, you got to be able to be critical of the product.
Right.
And this guy, he could just stand up there and say, Campbell Soup is perfect as is. We have no room for improvement. No, he's looking inward saying, what do we got to do to make it better? Some people would say, I'm boycotting Campbell Soup. No, I'm doing a reverse boycott. I'm going to try to eat as much of it as possible in light of these self-aware comments.
It's just a shame to see a company that Michael Strahan's mom built just become such a shadow of what it used to be. I mean, Michael Strahan's mom really took this brand to another level. So to watch a guy like Martin Bailey just absolutely destroy the brand, honestly, it's sad to see.
It sucks because Campbell Soup was always an American institution, probably one of the most recognizable food brands. I think he's off base when he says that it's complete bullshit for poor people because I don't think this VP understands wealth because, you know, being frugal and buying affordable foods, that doesn't make you poor. You know, wealth is the money you save, not the money that goes out the door. So it's not about, you know, it's not about fancy cars, flashy chains. It's about the money you are saving each month. So, you know, I think he needs a lesson in what's true wealth.
No, that's a great point. I didn't even think about it like that. I think, yeah, eating Campbell Soup that's what Jim Cramer is now suggesting as a way to just increase your overall portfolio. So I love to hear that. If you see my head kind of bobbing around like that, it's because I have some terrible heartburn from the weekend. We had a big country music festival here in St. Pete. As you can see from my hat, there was a lot of good artists. We had a great time, absolutely fantastic time. We had about 5 friends all there. We all had separate tickets. So some of us were in super VIP, some in VIP, and some in general admission, which created a logistical nightmare for standing in one spot for more than 30 minutes. However, it was all worth it. It was a great time. A lot of good artists. Last night, the Red Clay Strays absolutely dominated the show. So if you didn't go on Sunday's performance, you really missed out. But St. Pete Country Music Fest was an absolute banger. We had a blast in the tent with Country Nights. Country Nights is an EDM country music duo and they're DJs. These guys just put out absolute freaking bangers, man. They had a guy who was on The Bachelor come out and just start throwing fried chicken out in the crowd and dumping milk in girls' faces. I don't think the girls realized that the ones that were getting the milk dumped in their faces, that it was a very demeaning thing that was happening to them. They were very excited about it. But what a vibe those two guys put on. Absolute bangers, nonstop. We need to possibly figure out a way to collab with these guys.
Well, we absolutely do. That was an incredible event. That was an incredible performance. I can't believe I almost forgot about it.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, just kind of having seen one of my former idols from The Bachelorette throwing Publix chicken. I'm, trying to catch my mouth from the stage. I couldn't even believe it. It was wild. I felt like I was the only person in the crowd who knew who that was from The Bachelorette. So,
Yeah,
hey.
there was some chatter amongst the friend group about how much you knew about this guy. And it was...
He got pretty deep in the show, I can't lie.
When did he go on the show? What year?
So I think it was 2020 because I was pretty bored during COVID. And me and my roommates at the time, we really ramped up our reality TV consumption. So... That's
you
what
knew
I'm
a lot
on.
about him.
I knew a lot about him.
I was like, who the hell is that? You're like, dude, this guy, he was like, fucking. And then someone was like, yeah, he was on The Bachelor. You're like, actually, it was The Bachelorette. And he got really far. Anyway, it was freaking hilarious,
but
man.
The event as a whole, it was incredible. I think, I will say, it was probably one of the most successful bait and switches of all time because this was marketed as a hardcore country festival. And This was the first year of it. They got a ton of white people buying tickets. And once you were in the tent, once you got in the confines of that festival, surprise, most of it's not even country music. I mean, it was just stuff that they thought white people love. And they were absolutely correct about all of it. From the vendors to the music. I mean, all the vendor tents had me dying laughing. There was a really nice looking Zyn store. It looked more high tech than an Apple store. They were selling $1 tins. I mean,
Chick-fil-A was there.
Chick-fil-A, Jim Beam,
Bush Light.
I mean, they know what gets these people going. And it was just great to see. There weren't a ton of big names, but I kind of got to hear covers of songs from my favorite country groups like Blink-182 and the All-American Rejects.
Yeah,
So
there was.
it was just phenomenal country music all
They
weekend.
knew their crowd, man. They knew their crowd. It was pretty fun. It was kind of hilarious. No, I hope St. Pete does it again next year, and I hope they get some bigger artists because I think the city really showed out and supported. So we will be hopefully doing a live pod there next year. Talked with the organizers, and that is in the works. So look out for that. Another crazy story here. We're going a little politics. We'd like to just completely skip the NFL at the beginning of this show.
Right.
I want to talk about the transformation of Marjorie Greene Taylor. So for a lot of you that don't know, she popped up on my radar as this kind of crazy Trump supporter from the South about 3 to 5 years ago. I don't even remember the exact date, but I remember reading some of the things she was saying and just thinking, man, this lady's kind of crazy. And she kind of rode the coattails of that Trump wave, the original wave, into Congress. But now she's, in the last year, kind of completely reversed a lot of the things and become way more of a liberal-leaning Democrat. And she's just resigned from Congress. And there's a little bit of chatter that she might think of doing a presidential run here. What are your thoughts on the evolution of Marjorie Greene Taylor and her current outlook resigning from Congress?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that presidential run would go great because I don't know if I've met anyone who calls himself a fan. It's really confusing. I feel like I need someone who follows the political landscape closer to kind of just make me a flowchart because there are all these Republican characters. It's like they start out as a friend of Trump, but there's a life cycle for sure. At some point, they become a definitive enemy. They're going at it. I think at one point, her and Lauren Boebert were friends. Then it got nasty. I mean, I need someone to map all of this out. I need to know kind of any major Republican name I've heard over the last few years. Where do they stand? Are they cool with Donnie? Are they not cool? Have they made up? I mean, Elon. It's just there's a lot going on, but it's I mean, this has been a big name in politics the last handful of years. So
there's just a lot of wild distractions going on right now. Obviously, we talked about the Epstein list last week. The Epstein list just keeps getting weirder and weirder. So confirmed. Okay, we have a picture of the letter that Donald Trump, the birthday letter that Donald Trump sent Epstein, and it is creepier than you would think. It is a very creepy card. His signature is on it, but White House press secretary refuses to admit that this is Donald Trump's signature, stating that she thinks she already knows of 3 well-qualified forensic signature analysts that have said that the signature is completely fake, even though it's clearly his signature. So Trump saying some weird things. Trump got put into a lot of emails. It's not looking good for Donnie right now. And he looked for Donnie to really drum up some weird stuff coming up. I'm thinking the quickest way to get the online community off your ass with this Epstein stuff is to release some weird Bitcoin news or some weird stock news, because no one likes to talk about that stuff more than X. And X needs Trump to come out and give some sort of crazy thing. I've heard some rumors that Trump's about to make Bitcoin one of the reserve currencies for the U.S.
yeah, you never know where you're going to get. I mean, I would like some news if it affected my investments positively. You really never know. Sometimes seemingly good news comes out, all the investments tank. I don't know. It's a wild roller coaster. Also, when is this list coming out? I mean, I'm sure basic research I could find out, but I have a theory. I think a great day for it to come out would be on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I mean, could you imagine a better time for it to come out? I mean, we all know you get together with extended family on Thanksgiving. Politics, they can be a touchy subject. Why not just rip the Band-Aid off right here, right now? Let's do it at the Thanksgiving dinner table. let's just break down these files. Let's just get into it.
Listen, I'm going up to the in-laws in New York this year for Thanksgiving, and we're going to be around probably 20 to 30 family members at her uncle's house. And yeah, part of me, you give me 3 Surfsides before this conversation, I might be drumming up some stuff at the table. And I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be the crazy uncle. I'm going to be the pot stirrer. And I'm going to bring up the topics, and I'm going to let everyone just float on their own. That's the only way to do it. I'm going to bring up some very controversial stuff, and I'm going to play it cool depending on the person I'm talking to. So if I'm talking to someone who starts to go in one direction, I'm following them in that direction. I talk to another person who's going the opposite direction, I'm following them that direction. But my goal of the exercise is by the end of the night, even more drinks in the system, stomach starts to get a little full, you feel that tired sensation, you want your opinions to be released at maximum value at that point. So I'm hoping by 8 p.m. that there's some crazy arguments going on, because we're going to have people from Canada, the Northeast, the South. It's going to be an interesting combination. And I think I can somehow weave Justin Trudeau, Donald Trump, Mayor Mondami all into this conversation by the time dessert comes out.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. I think it would be just a fun day for America, and I don't know, just kind of a great way to really bond with the in-laws you don't get to see very often.
That's the podcast people really want to see, is just everyone recorded at the dinner table and just have maybe even a live stream of that. That would be wild.
Seriously, a lot of people say, I've never been on a podcast before. Yes, you have. You've been at a Thanksgiving dinner table talking politics with the extended family. There just haven't been cameras.
You know what? Actually, let's give the viewers some things they want. Let's talk. You give 3 kind of statements that might elicit some good conversation, and then I'll give 3. We'll go one-on-one.
How about you start?
I'll start. So, someone's sitting across from me. Hey, can you believe this Mondami guy? Apparently he wants to just tax the rich like 5 extra % and then just make buses for free. I mean, the only people this is going to help is poor people. Why would we want that? That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I'll go with another one. So Trump, people are just after Trump like he's a part of the Epstein list. This guy fights for American rights more than anyone, and the media just constantly attacks him. I'm kind of over it. I don't trust anyone except for Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. I'll give you one. You heard about this Stephen Hawking guy? Went to Epstein Island 35 times. What was he doing there? Is he even able to lay it down like that?
That's a good one. That'll spark some conversation. Yeah. I have a good one. Hey, I do this podcast now, and my co-host last podcast was kind of like defending the people on the Epstein Island list, and I thought it was kind of weird. I don't really know how to address them properly, so what do you think I should say to him?
Yeah, no, that'd be an interesting one. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I know you get where I'm coming from.
I'm out of examples, but
you're an island supporter.
I like it. No.
You quoted last week, you said that going to the island was just like going on a quick vacation.
I think I called that a relaxing weekend getaway. Yeah, that's bad. It's not a relaxing weekend getaway, but I don't know.
You can't pull back from that.
You really can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't.
That's tough.
Well, hey.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
All right. We are a sports podcast, so we're going to talk about it. It was a crazy week 12 of the NFL. There was a lot of great games. Let's start it off. Our friend's texting us very weirdly. His name's Andrew. He was on the podcast. You guys know him. The Bears keep winning. Since this guy's been on the podcast, Caleb Williams has looked like MVP caliber quarterback. We really are eating our words right now. And I will say, sometimes lightning hits and strikes in a bottle, and that's what's happening right now in Chicago. This is a flash in the pan. It's gonna go away. The Bears are gonna lose and somehow not even make the playoffs. If they lose out, they're looking at the outside in of the NFL playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a path to the Bears losing out and finishing the season below 500. They've been stringing together some wins. They're not really playing anyone all that good, but you can only play who's in front of you. And I get why a Bears fan like Andrew would be happy. Caleb Williams, he's made some improvement from last season. I mean, the Bears are 8-3. They never win anything. It looks like they finally have a competent coach. So I get it. I still don't think this Caleb Williams guy is ever going to live up to the expectations that were put on him when he was coming in the draft. I heard this guy was going to be a phenom. He was going to be, Mahomesian was the adjective I kept hearing. And He looks all right. He doesn't turn the ball over, which is good. A lot of incomplete passes, though. To me, this guy looks middle of the pack. I don't think he's a bust, but
Caleb Williams, you're a bum. Stop painting your fingernails. Next story. The Cowboys. 1 week, they're absolute frauds. The next week, they're beating the Super Bowl contenders, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles just blowing a 21-point lead. What the hell's going on with the Eagles, man?
yeah, it seems broken from within. I mean, it is just so much dysfunction. It's the most talented roster I've ever seen, just about. I mean, they dominated their way to a Super Bowl win last season, and nobody's happy. I mean, A.J. Brown, he actually got the ball a bunch in the first half, but more bad comments from him week leading up to the game, saying, reporters asked him, do you feel like you're still the same player? He said, if I'm not the same player, well, I guess then Saquon's not the same player either then. Don't bring Saquon Barkley into this. Saquon Barkley is a professional. He usually says the right thing.
Golfing with the
A.J.
president.
Brown,
Come on.
I mean, A.J. Brown, it's just, the guy is miserable. I don't know. You can't be blowing a 21-point lead to the Cowboys. There was a tough game to watch. Even the Cowboys trying to blow it. They had a chance to kick a field goal about 3 yards out on fourth down to go ahead with a few minutes left. Went for it on fourth down. The game stayed tied. Went to overtime. There's way too much of that throughout the NFL. Remember when going for it on fourth down was like a novelty thing?
I do.
Now it's just you're surprised when a team's kicking a field goal. Yeah.
The announcer's like, oh, they haven't listened to the analytics. The analytics say go for it here. The analytics. Andy, this next story, though, is very important. I want you to hold up that chain right there to this camera.
That's right.
Okay? That's your close-up camera.
It is.
All right, hold it up.
Yep.
The New England Patriots are 10-2, and they're looking like absolute world beaters right now. But what is going on with Stephen A. Smith and Drake May? What does Stephen A. Smith have against Drake May? This is absolute blasphemy.
Yeah. No, this was an absolutely bizarre beef that I think no one saw coming. It didn't need to happen at all either. I mean, it all starts late last week. There's a First Take segment, and these days Cam Newton, he's a contributor on First Take. Since Skip Bayless left, it's kind of just it's Stephen A. and friends. And Cam Newton's on a couple times a week talking football. Everyone on the panel, they're talking up the Patriots. They're saying Drake May's great. We love the Pats, blah, blah. Cam Newton says, all right, this is a TV show. It can't just be five people agreeing with each other. I'm gonna give a take on the other side. And he said, I think the Patriots are fool's gold. They haven't played anybody yet. We haven't seen Drake May in the playoffs. You know, he's not proven the same way Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are. That's a fine take. Then Drake May does his Boston radio interview spot the next morning. They ask him about it. Cam Newton was Drake May's idol growing up. Drake May grew up in North Carolina. He was a Panthers fan. And word gets back to him that Cam Newton is called the Patriots fool's gold. Drake May, what do you think of that? He said, oh, geez, man, you know, I'm not too worried about that. I actually don't even know what show he's on. And, I'm just worried about what guys in our building think. That gets back to Stephen A. I don't think he listened to the audio. I think he just saw the writing. He says, Drake May is a liar. He says he doesn't know what show Cam Newton is on. First Take is number one. It's been number one for 15 years. And just going off. And it's performative. He's saying, look, First Take, that's my show. We're going to get ranks. But no one actually knew that Cam Newton was on this program. And because he just became a contributor like 3 or 4 months ago.
There's a bigger thing at play here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith, buddy, the new guard is coming.
Definitely.
Your shtick is up. Everyone's sick of you. They don't want to listen to you. You're talking about politics now? No. People want to hear sports talk about sports, not politics. So Stephen A., shut your yapper. No one likes you. And Drake May, he's the future of the NFL, so you better watch out what you say to him, bud.
And then after that, it turned into this weird thing of, you know, it used to be the case that after athletes retired, they didn't have many options for post-retirement careers, and working in the media has been a great thing for these athletes in the post-playing career. Not a bad point. And to make a comment like that from Drake May that you don't even know what show Cam Newton's on, I mean, that's a disgrace. As an athlete yourself, you should be trying to create opportunities for athletes post-career. It's almost like Stephen A. had that thought in his head, which is not necessarily a bad one, but just decided, okay, now this is my opportunity to get this thought out. Because they were the most innocuous comments ever. I get where he's coming from. Like sometimes athletes don't understand how sports media works. A former athlete who works in the media will criticize them and they'll say, man, keep my name out of your mouth. Why are you speaking on other grown men? Because their job is to talk about sports. The sports are played by other people, so you have to say those people's names. But it was a wild beef that didn't need to happen.
I'm just over them, man. I think Stephen A. Smith and Cam Newton could possibly be the worst duo of people talking to each other on TV of all time. I think if you're looking for two guys who talk well on camera, you're looking at them right now on 3 different cameras, all self-funded, go lawn chair sports. But I have another thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of jumping around, but that's just where we're at with the show now. We're keeping you on your toes.
We get a little jumpy.
Andy, fist bump, buddy. We officially freaking called it. Shedeur Sanders was the man, is the man, and always has been the man. Stefanski, you bum. You've wasted 10 to 11 good weeks of these poor Cleveland people's hearts, putting in 2 of the worst starting quarterbacks in Cleveland Browns history. Shedeur was always the answer, and look what happens. He gets in there. He makes one of the most incredible off-balance throws off his right back leg down the field to get him down to the 1-yard line to score, to put him up 14-0. This guy's an absolute stud of a player. Yeah, he had one bad interception, but guess what? He's a rookie quarterback. Give him a break. He didn't see the middle linebacker. Mark our words on Lawn Chair Sports right here. Shedeur Sanders is here to stay. He's not going anywhere. And if you don't like his talk at the podium, then bye-bye. Just don't watch, because he's going to run his mouth and he's going to run the games up when they're up. This guy is an absolute stud. And watching Deion Sanders be happy up in the stands, man, that touched my heart. That guy's had such a tough year this year, going through his cancer battle and having a bad season at Colorado and having to pick up the pylons after Warren Sapp kicks him. It's good to see Deion happy again. I love this story, and we love Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, great to see it from the kid. I mean, he got in there. He was electric. He was poised. You could tell his teammates rallied around him, and the guy just looks like a seasoned pro. I mean, we're talking about a rookie who wasn't even getting first-team reps most of the season because the coach was holding the grudge against him. He got in there, and now he's here to stay. I mean, the Browns making the announcement today that he will be the starter next week against the 49ers. It was absolutely incredible. Also, kind of making the Raiders shove it. That's a team who definitely could have used him. They have no answer at quarterback. You think the Raiders are wishing they had some Shedeur Sanders right now?
Well, interim head coach, what's his name? Antonio Pierce of the Raiders went on, and he said that if he had stayed as the head coach, that he actually had Mark Davis signed on to get Shedeur Sanders.
Wow.
But the new head coach, Pete Carroll, said, no. We're going to give Geno Smith, a bust from the Ryan Nassib draft. We're going to give him his 13th shot in the NFL. That, I think, if you ask me, is a coordinated attack against the Sanders family.
It definitely feels like it. And if you're Kevin Stefanski, it's almost like this is the outcome he didn't want to have happen. You know, some of these coaches are
he
so
didn't look
stubborn.
happy after the game, and they won. He looked pissed.
Well, you know how these coaches are wired. Some of them are so stubborn. He would rather lose doing it his way than win doing it Shedeur Sanders' way. It's like
agree.
you finally have the answer at quarterback. The irony is Shedeur Sanders is probably going to save Kevin Stefanski's job.
He's going to save his entire career for his job. Stefanski wouldn't ever have another shot in the league if he doesn't make it with Cleveland.
And if they put him in earlier, they would have a serious chance to make a playoff push and win that division. It might be a little too late for him now, but
we'll see.
I mean, look out next season.
The guy's got magic.
And with Myles Garrett,
oh my God, he's so good, man.
Chance to break the single season sacks record.
There's no chance he's going to do it.
They're coming.
All right. What are our thoughts? Thanksgiving's coming up this week. We're both going out of town. What are our final thoughts on Black Friday? Do we like Black Friday? Is it a myth? Is it just a scheme to get Americans to spend more money? Or should we appreciate Black Friday for the true holiday it is, which is America's way of getting into even more debt? What do you think about Black Friday?
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's stupid. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of just being told I need to buy things because it's Black Friday or Cyber Monday or Amazon Day or whatever the hell. I think half the time, I think they just have signs of these stores that will say Black Friday deal and then advertise the exact price that it is every day throughout the entire year. I mean, I'm kind of out on it. Also, going to the store is annoying because the other shoppers. On Black Friday, it's about tenfold. I don't know. It's not as big of a thing anymore, but these people who are leaving Thanksgiving dinner early to camp outside the store to get $30 off the TV, it's wild. TVs are cheap now, too.
Bring back the days of actually having good deals in the stores. That's the only way we bring Black Friday back. Right now, you could sit on your couch on Black Friday and get every single same deal that the person in person is getting. So there's literally no point to go to the store anymore. And to your point, if you don't like parking and seeing people on a regular day, this is going to be tenfold worse. So I think we're in agreement there. Black Friday is officially done in America. It is over. Sayonara. I think retail is going to have a tough week this week. I think you're going to watch some Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, Best Buy. Those stock prices might fall. If I'm a guy who wants to put a little bit of money and bet against what I think is going to happen, I think Amazon has a huge Black Friday this year.
I wouldn't be surprised because brick and mortar shopping, somewhat of a thing in the past. Everyone wants to do it digitally. No one wants to leave their house. So, and also, why would you the day after Thanksgiving? You've just eaten 6,500 calories of Thanksgiving food. I mean, you need to be locked into your house until at least 2 p.m. just so you can kind of clear out the system. I mean, you can't be getting out the door early the next morning just to wait in line at these stores. It doesn't make sense. It's not a good day for it.
I'm with you. I think we're in agreement. Another interesting story that's taken place in the United States. It's the duo that no one saw coming. It is Donald Trump and Mamdani apparently being best friends. So for some reason, the New York City mayor, who's not the mayor yet, it has an open invitation to the White House. I guess so. Biggest city in the U.S. Trump wants to get on the same page with them. Trump's from New York. But, I mean, again, if you're following that political landscape, Mamdani couldn't be more on the left. And Trump supposedly is the one who kind of created the new right. But yet these guys are chopping it up in the Oval Office like they're good old buds. I mean, Trump even at one point said, "Good job. That was a great answer," because Trump only really judges a person's character based on how they respond to media questions. So that was interesting. But I will say it wasn't on my bingo card for the week because I was assuming Trump was going to go full on board against all of the weird leftist things that Mamdani wants to do, like free buses, freeze the rents. I thought this was going to be like Trump's like perfect thing to just go against. Instead, he's like, no, I'm actually fully on board with him and I want to help him make New York City great. So is this the unification moment that the United States needed? Or is this just some weird thing where Trump like didn't realize where he was for the day and then just kind of rolled with it and he found out after who the guy actually was?
No, I think this is a key moment in kind of the unification of the parties. You'll hear from a lot of people. They say we need more bipartisan activities. We need the two sides working together. Not everything needs to be a tug of war. I think it's extremely important to have the president and the mayor to be of the largest city to have alignment. And it really just goes to show that no matter how nasty things might get in these debates or in the public forum, behind the scenes, I mean, they're all more like each other than they are regular folks like us. So it's funny, while us regular citizens are just scrapping with each other in the streets,
eating Campbell soup
on the internet, eating Campbell soup, and just tearing each other down because you voted for the other party. And behind the scenes, they're all having a grand old time together.
Yeah.
Trump and Mamdani, they're hitting it off. Trump, it turns out, and the Clintons were friendlier than we ever could have imagined. So it's don't believe everything you see. It's kind of like your favorite athlete, laughing it up and talking to the rival player on the other team after. And you think, wait, no, we hate that guy. The reality is those two are going out to dinner and, they're laughing at the common folk like us.
That is a great analogy. That was one of my least favorite things in sports when I would be on a team and then we'd just be like grinding our ass all week. We hate these people. And then after the game, oh, what's up, dog? Oh, great game, man. Great. Like, buddy, we just talked about how we hate this guy for a month, and you're being nicer to him than you have been to anyone in our own team for the last year. So, yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was a very good take, Andy. However, I do think you're going to get destroyed in the comments for that take. I think it was too nice.
Hey, you know what? Can't make people happy.
How are you feeling about some of the comments that you've been receiving?
Yeah, I do read all of them, and you know what? You can't make people happy. I actually don't think there's anything I could possibly say in the microphone that would make people happy. So once you realize that, it's almost like, Well, what does it matter? You can just say anything then.
Well, you can just say anything. And for those who continue to make the comment of we need to make podcasting equipment more expensive, I would like you to try to buy the podcasting equipment we have because it's very expensive and you can't afford it. So I think that's hilarious. So yeah, keep saying it because I don't want you to ever have a podcast either because I click on all your little avatars and guess what? You guys are a bunch of little weenies. Okay. Not all of you. The ones who make fun of Andy are actually pretty hilarious, but the ones who make fun of me, absolute weenies.
Yeah, some of the profiles when I click into them are wild. It's just, I think I'm just caught off guard. I'm like, oh, this guy said that? Wow, that's crazy. But hey,
I got to read the one from today. So,
oh no,
this one was pretty funny. It was on the just a nice video, like just a clearly correct video of Gen Zs not being able to afford homes, and then this bald white guy just goes absolutely bonkers at like 8 a.m. on Monday. He just responds, "You must be a Gen Zer. Back in the day, wages were much lower. So no, you couldn't just pay. He said pay a house for cash, but he means pay cash for a house. And then he said, also, as for being rewarded after going to college, that might be the dumbest statement I've ever heard. Education is a joke in both high school and college. So are they really, quote unquote, busting their asses? You need to go back and learn some new talking facts." I said, "Jeff, you are bad at math and have brought no good arguments to the table. Have a great day." He didn't like that, which I knew he wouldn't. I knew that would get Jeff fired up. So Jeff sent 3 crying emojis faces and said, "I give you examples and you just say I'm bad at math. You're a fucking clown. Here's another example. Parents are both school teachers, bought their house in 1972 for $38,000 and no way they could save for years. Wait, there was a way. Our family wouldn't eat for 2 years. You idiot." I said, "Jeff, were your parents teachers at these bad schools you were talking about? Your math is just horrible. Nothing is adding up. Thanks for your opinion, though." So, Jeff, you got absolutely bodied in the comments. So don't come after Lawn Chair Sports because you know what? We're not just going to read them anymore. We're coming after people. We're going to fight back. We're going Trump style. We're talking, if you're going to be Rosie O'Donnell in the comments, we're calling you a pig.
Yeah, no, we're not letting it slide anymore. Okay, the nice guy act is over. I mean, wild move by Jeff. He's basically talking about how education is worthless and then saying, well, both my parents were school teachers. And then also saying, no, yeah, we just didn't eat for 2 years. So he's like, you lazy Gen Z, just take 2 years off eating food and then you can buy a house. I feel like that makes your point.
It's funny because I looked at a picture of Jeff and he definitely ate food that 2 years. He is not a skinny man.
Hey.
So Jeff, get it together, buddy. And you know what? If you're seeing this, buddy, I might even tag you in this post because you're an absolute loser.
But you should come on the pod. We should have him on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to you coming on the pod,
Yeah.
Jeff. You seem like you come from good parents. So, all right. Geno Smith flipping off his own Raiders fans. Is this the death of Geno Smith in Las Vegas?
It feels like it's got to be. I mean, the play alone has been so bad that they're going another direction. I think Geno will be out, even though they still have a lot of money. Pete Carroll will likely be one and done. But I feel like Geno Smith was always kind of just like a lovable figure. It's like people always just felt bad for him. It's like, damn, you were a promising college quarterback. You went to the Jets. Your career was never the same. He was a late bloomer, figured out the latter half. He's taking a lot of heat because he's playing like shit, and he's not handling it well. I mean, flipping off the fans when he's getting booed off the field in this one. And a couple weeks ago, he had a quote where he basically deflected the blame. He said, yeah, if we lose, blame me. If your kid's not doing well in school, blame me. If the dog, took a shit on the carpet, blame Geno. Basically just saying, oh, wow, you guys blame me for everything. I mean, you're the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. So if the offense isn't performing, yes, it falls on the quarterback. It's the reason you were getting $75 million over 2 years. Okay, your job is hard, and sometimes that includes taking the blame when the offense as a whole isn't performing. I don't know. I thought it was for a guy who's probably in the league for his quote unquote veteran leadership as opposed to his playing ability. Doesn't really seem like the veteran leadership's there.
I think it's ridiculous. I think Geno's done, and We might have seen the last ball thrown by Gino in Las Vegas.
And I think, one moment where I look back earlier in his career that I think is kind of telling, when he was still with the Jets, there's a classic incident where a defensive player on the team playing punched him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And he broke his face. He had to have, I think, a reconstructive surgery, which was wild. That was a crazy move. And people said, like, you don't see it. There are locker room fights and altercations, but you're never hitting the quarterback. And what was telling to me is, so the Jets cut that guy loose. Rex Ryan, who at the time was the Bills coach, immediately signed the guy. And to me, that spoke volumes. I mean, Rex Ryan cannot have thought all that highly of Geno Smith if he's immediately signing the guy who clocked him in the face in the team plane.
That is so funny. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, Geno, man, that guy has had a wild career. I think this might be his last stop, though. He kind of had a little resurgence in Seattle, but also no one really pays attention to Seattle. Look at Sam Darnold having what could have been considered an MVP season, but no one's talking about it, so it's kind of a moot point. All right, another weird topic going on. I don't know if you saw this story, but Ed Sheeran apparently has been faking a lot of his social media posts, and he actually has an AI clone that he's been using so that he doesn't have to take the pictures. What are our thoughts on celebrities using AI clones of themselves to generate content? I think this is ridiculous, especially coming from a nice guy that we thought like Ed Sheeran. How could he be lying to us like this? There was a big controversy of him stealing the tunes of a lot of his songs. And then now he's faking his fans with AI generated posts. This is not a good look for Ed Sheeran.
No, it's not a good look. I thought he was a nice guy too, but that might have been his AI clone the whole time. I mean, it's just strange to me because we would never do that for our social media.
No.
It is all raw. It's authentic. It's straight from the source. I don't even fully know what that means, having an AI clone. I mean, I know a lot of these celebrities, they'll have a manager or someone else run their accounts, which that in itself is lame. I mean, yes, your life's busy. You don't have time to put a freaking tweet out there. What, your time's too valuable. You can't take a photo, put it on the gram. I don't know.
No, they're done taking content. I mean, he's literally just generating that he was at places that he wasn't, and it's been proven. And it's just a shame that Ed Sheeran, of all people, would be the guy that would do this. Ed, this is a different shape of you, and we don't like it.
Yeah, bad look for Ed. Can he come back from it?
One guy, though, who I can tell you who doesn't fake his content is Bad Bunny. This guy has ascended the absolute charts. He's now one of the most popular musicians in the world. And I don't know if you've seen some of his acting stops lately, but this guy is absolutely electric on screen as well. I mean, I think Bad Bunny really represents for the Puerto Rican people what it means to be a celebrity and a star. And no one holds himself to higher standards than Bad Bunny himself. I personally am so excited to see Bad Bunny at halftime this year. If anyone disagrees, then we got problems because this guy is as American as it gets. He's an international celebrity, and we should claim him as Americans and not be ashamed of him.
Yeah, I can't wait for the halftime show either. I mean, this guy, he's a rocketing superstar. It's just a classic story of the American dream. This guy, he did it all from hard work and grit, and he's just relatable. You listen to the tunes, it's like these are lyrics that really anyone kind of can relate to and from all walks of life. So I think for people who haven't heard him before, Bad Bunny is going to be a hit this year at the Super Bowl, and I can't wait to see the show. Can't wait to see how he's received.
For all of you who are saying you don't like Bad Bunny because he's not American singing, number one, you're wrong geographically. Number two, if Adele was announced as the singer for the Super Bowl, you guys would have all been pumped and said, this is a great pick. The NFL nailed it this year. They finally got some good music back at halftime. So figure it out. If you want Americans, you couldn't be more American than Bad Bunny. Adele is not the answer.
Yeah, if they said, all right, change of plans, Bad Bunny out, it's going to be Justin Bieber doing the halftime show, people on Facebook would be saying, yes, finally, they got an American doing the halftime show.
Would.
And it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and we might need to explain it to our fans as well. Justin Bieber is Canadian.
He is Canadian.
And I'm repping the Canadian sweatshirt today for all my Canadian folk. Carmel, California is the first city in the United States that has proposed completely banning the sports of pickleball. The reason being the sound the pickleballs make is absolutely destroying people's lives. All the houses around these newly built pickleball courts, they are going crazy. It's like Chinese water torture where there's just a drop, a drop, a drop but all day these people are just hearing. It's just ruining their life. The second reason is Carmel, California has now had the largest increase of over 50-year-olds having to go get going to the doctor for broken legs, broken arms, hamstring, ACL pulls, everything. So the combination of the sound along with it's actually becoming a public health crisis, old people playing pickleball.
Yeah, this is an absolutely crazy one. I mean, it makes sense. There's this notion that pickleball is just a super safe sport. Anyone can play it. Good for older folks. No, there's still high risk of injury in pickleball. I've known quite a few people who've suffered injuries. Most people are probably not going through a proper warm-up. And you're cutting, you're pivoting, you're moving around quickly. I mean, sometimes the body makes a movement it's not ready for. People probably aren't wearing the right types of shoes. They're tripping over their feet. So that I get. The noise thing, I mean, this is the most not in my backyard complaint I've ever heard. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's just like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
You can't have pickleball. I mean, it could be a lot worse. That's how you know it must be a pretty well-off community where their number one concern is the noise from pickleball. I'm sure there can be an ordinance of, hey, you can't play it before, call it 7 a.m. or, after 6 p.m., whatever. But it could be a lot worse than hearing the pickleball sound. That's a sign that you were in a nice area.
Well, pickleball is destroying these nice communities from the inside out. The groups of the pickleball players themselves are nasty groups. These people are not nice. Once they get into a pickleball group, they will not let anyone else into their pickleball group. This is a big, big, big problem, especially in 55 plus communities here in Florida. We see it all the time. We see these groups just going on Facebook and saying, you're not allowed to play pickleball when we have the court. And even though there's no official reserving in the court system, pickleball groups have thought that they can just manually control who gets to play pickleball on what courts at public courts. In fact, here in St. Pete, the pickleball community has just decided that the 3 nicest courts on the left are only going to be for advanced pickleball players. I'm sorry, guys. You're not advanced. Half of you can barely even walk. Half of you, if we played one-on-one in basketball, would get bodied 11-0 every single game. You guys are just a little bit more athletic than, let's say, a mini putt pro. I mean, it's not a sport. I am not here for pickleball. If you're a pickleball person and you don't like this take, I don't know what to tell you. We're not here for the pickleball community.
Yeah, the people who go way too hard to pickleball, they're a tough group because it's a fun, casual sport. It's laid back. But one thing I've realized is that people who lean too far into any hobby, especially when it's supposed to be a laid back one, I mean, they're their own kind of freak. And we see this in softball as well. We like to play it. It's a fun little sport. Some people way too into it. They walk around, they think they are pretty much on the same level as Barry Bonds. They basically can't even run up the first baseline or chase down a loose ball. But I mean, they think their entire life is based on getting customized jerseys with their last name on the back. I'm like, you have 2 kids under 8 years old at home, but their number one concern is, dude, I got a new customized jersey with my name on the back. I'm like, is that something you're going to wear frequently?
Are you
going to wear that to work?
They do wear it frequently. They wear it to bars, and I'm bet on Casual Friday they would wear it to work. Yes.
And it's crazy that, or I mean, don't get me started on these, these cold plunge people.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. So pickleball, the people who are really hardcore into it, it's a tough group.
Yeah,
tough
and there is definitely a Venn diagram out there of cold plungers and pickleballers.
Oh yeah,
and sauna people. And if you get one that's in all 3, that's a tough person to be around. Run. And if you're on Tinder and you're swiping across someone, boy or girl, and you're seeing 3 separate pictures, one in the cold plunge, one in pickleball, and one in the sauna, get out quick.
Right. And man or woman too, if you're swiping, because we're not.
We have a lot of women who listen to the show.
That's right.
A lot.
But I was saying not boy or girl because we don't do that kind of thing on this show.
You go to the island.
No,
on a relaxing
I actually
getaway.
didn't know. What it is? I had to Google it. Where is it? I didn't know. I feel like no one talks about it. It's one of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Is it? So you know where it is.
Well, now I do.
Sure. Oh my God. Okay. Brian Kelly's son on senior night. First off, this guy clearly acting like he was on the team because he's good at football. That's number one. I mean, that's just a wild move. This guy wears a free BK undershirt because the LSU didn't allow Brian Kelly, for whatever reason, to not run out on the field with his son on senior night. Buddy, you need to look yourself in the mirror and realize your dad's in a legal dispute over almost $100 million with this school. I'm sorry they were a little mean to you. And I'm sorry if your dad gets that money, you and your family and your kids and their kids and their kids will never have to work a day in their life. So God forbid the school doesn't allow the guy who just got fired and then defamed the university to walk all the way to the 50-yard line with you. And also, no one knew you were on the team before today. Not one person. I'm sure people on your team didn't even know.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably his only D1 opportunity, so I think he's just enjoying his final days. He gets to be part of a big program. You know, sometimes these Gen Z kids, they do and say things that I don't get. I find annoying, like when they say 6'7", but sometimes they say stuff that's absolutely hilarious. And when he looked right in the camera, held up the undershirt and said, "Free my boy BK," I was kind of dying because I feel like that's a hilarious way to refer to your dad. Free my boy by his two initials. The kid, he's got some chops. I mean, it was hilarious. And also, even the undershirt, he could have had a customized shirt made. He just, with his Sharpie,
Well, he went with the
BK
he went like Stevie Johnson with the Bills.
Yeah.
With the white pulled out stretched shirt. That's hilarious.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
That was a great one.
That was a great one. Oh man. All right. I don't think we need to talk anymore of this BS. I think we need to leave the folks. We're hitting up holiday time here. So
Right.
you know, me and Andy are not going to be able to do probably as many shows as we'd like here in the upcoming weeks and maybe even the upcoming months, but we need to hear from you. What do you guys want to see? Leave us some comments. Don't leave us negative comments. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking you to give us some advice on what you want to see. We have some electric news coming up. We are going to be interviewing pretty soon here an ex-NFL agent that just moved down to Florida who would prefer I don't use his real name, but he's got some explosive accusations about what goes on in the NFL behind the scenes. So stay tuned for that episode. That will be popping here shortly. And you may see a solo episode here of Andy going off, giving his takes. I might go off and give mine. We might send some clips to each other while we're gone. We're going to see. But what we don't want to deprive you guys of is consistent 48 short posts per day.
Right.
You know, I've heard a lot of feedback from my friends, family who watch the show, and they said, you know what, Trent? What gets me through the day is one post every 30 minutes from you guys that really doesn't accomplish anything by the end of the post. So if we can just keep delivering that to the people, I think this holiday season is going to be really something to remember.
No, it's incredible. You know, we want to keep pumping out the content. It's true. A lot of people say it's hard for them to get by if they're not getting kind of every 2 days a short clip of us talking about the Jaguars offense, even though we haven't watched a Jaguars game. So, you know, we're just going to make sure to keep putting those posts out there, give people the content they need, and keep the people entertained, you know? Yeah, it's the holidays, but that just means you have more free time to watch Lawn Chair Sports, show it to your family members.
Put it on the big screen this holiday season.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, also, you don't like the show, you think it's a snooze fest, maybe put it on the TV after Thanksgiving dinner, people are a little sleepy. You know, all right, let's say your uncle, he's a little boisterous. He wants to talk Epstein files. It's getting rowdy. Get him on the couch post-turkey, put this program on, and just lull him to sleep, you know?
Lull him to sleep, and then we can do some ASMR clips as well for him. We can do some ASMR clips for him.
We can do some ASMR.
That was very strange there for a moment.
That was
but
weird.
Some of you started to go to sleep, so it might have worked. But you have anything left to say to the folks before we head off for Thanksgiving break here?
You know, just we appreciate your support so much so far. These first few months have been absolutely incredible. I mean, around the holiday time, I like to think how blessed and how lucky I am. And I think we're lucky to just have so many great followers, so many loyal listeners who, you know, they don't have a lot of free time in their day, but they will prioritize giving their boys a listen. And I mean, we're grateful. We're nothing without our loyal listeners.
And that goes a long way for our confidence. You know, seeing the support that we've gotten on Spotify. I think it's a good moment to reflect on the success that we've had and the hard work we've put in because, you know, sitting out there in the first day in front of the pool, shooting the podcast with really no idea where or what it was going to be. You didn't really know what to expect, but it's really grown into something kind of its own lore, if you will. And the world has responded with over 7 million views across all platforms, being voted as Spotify's fastest growing podcast, selling out all of our merch drops and the hats within minutes every single time we do it. I just couldn't be more thankful for this loyal fan group that we have. We have a lot of sponsorships coming up. You're going to see some affiliate links. We might have to do a little bit more sponsorships on the show, but that's just so we can keep improving our cameras, our microphones, and everything so that we can give you the utmost quality and content at all times because we're content people and we're committed to this.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat some turkey. Drink some beers. Stir the pot at the dinner table with the uncle. Let's get some of those conversations flowing. If you want, record a good argument at the table, tag Lawn Chair Sports. We will repost it. Maybe we'll make a